Hello and welcome to the I Love You Bet podcast. I'm Heather and this is my sister,
Rian. Each week we will revisit relics of our childhoods using our multiple master's degrees
to critically evaluate the crap that consumed our misspent youth. So join us,
sisters, latchkey kids, cuspers, and lazy feminists as we look back at our past to say, I love you, but...
Ryan Davis, welcome back. Did you know that is the first episode of the third season of I Love You, But the podcast starring the Davis sisters?
No, I did not. Three seasons, huh? So not years, seasons, right? Yeah.
Seasons, yeah. This is the beginning of our third season. So I have content planned out from here until the new year. We're gonna rock it into 2025 solid with only one planned break, but also life. So we'll see what happens.
The subtext there, everybody, is that I get absolutely no say in the movies that we watch. So if you don't like them, or if you wonder why I never like anything we watch, it's because Heather picks everything we watch, which is fine.
I think you'll find that it's a nice mix of things that we both enjoy. My Fair Lady is coming up in our musical section, which starts today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
An actual musical. Cool.
I could have picked some more obscure musicals, but I definitely decided to start with a banger of one that we can definitely talk about. But also,
I'm just hoping for ones with songs.
It's been a few weeks. Everything is food is a song, but we'll get into it. It's been a few weeks since we discussed anything related to this podcast. We've definitely spent time together. So maybe we could just do a real quick catch up. We can talk about what the other person's been doing just to make it fun and see how well we know each other.
Sure, how well we listen to each other complain.
Yeah, I just touched a piece of tissue that was disgustingly stiff. Tissue should never be stiff.
Well, if you blow your nose and then it dries.
You know what I haven't done? What I haven't wasted time on? Cleaning my room. I really need to waste some time cleaning my room. I know we're finding teenage boy level tissues, and I'm not entirely sure how that happened. So that's so gross. How about I let you tell what I did first, because my part's boring and you did exciting stuff.
Oh, your part's not boring. You hang out with the coolest kid in the entire world.
Did I?
You got to be the handmaid to Elliot Finn Davis Wilson.
Let's not say handmaid. Nope. Nope.
Well, not in that sense.
Okay.
The
personal assistant, maybe
the valet. Yes, you got to be Elliot Finn's valet and valet and everything for 3 weeks. Well, yeah. So you have to be literally be the best aunt ever.
I think I earned that title. I think I did.
You 1,000. Well, you may have bought it, but it cost $400.
Oh no, that was nothing. 400 was. Remember, there was the $188 piece of cake.
Well, but I think that the $400 bounce house is what really sealed the deal. So
I don't know. The fact that I got him all the way through a feature-length film with commercials and trailers beforehand.
Yeah, I've done that.
Because twice he wanted to leave, and we actually ended up sitting on the steps next to our seats. Thankfully, there were not many people in the theater, so I could hold him. And that's when, because we went to see Inside Out 2, audience, in case you aren't following every single thing we do on social media. And
I feel like if you're listening to our podcast, then you do also follow everything we do on social media.
If not, I'm at HD Writes Things, and she's at Pig and Pepper Living with a bunch of underscores. That's hard to find. But if you find HD Writes Things, you can find her. I'm looking at the ceiling now. This is awesome.
Sorry, I'm putting my hair back up.
So anyway, we were sitting on the aisle and it got to the part where like anxiety was getting really overwhelmed. And then I was like crying and hugging Elliot. And he was like, Dee Dee, you're hugging me too hard. It was like, Pixar, damn you, making me feel emotions and cry in public. I can't stand you. So I had to let go a little bit, but we stayed at that. And he, once again, even on the aisle, he was like, oh, Dee Dee, we have to go right now. I was like, okay. And then I'm like starting to kind of shuffle real slow on purpose. And I'm like, do you want to go? And he's like, no, it's okay. So I felt proud of that. I felt proud of him.
Mm-hmm.
You were supposed to be telling about my time. I'll shut up.
I was. It's fine. I think people are used to this by now. Yeah, you got to hang out. You tried to take him and do a bunch of things with him. And y'all went swimming and you didn't kill our mother.
Yeah.
So yeah, you helped him learn letters. You got to work with him. And I know you don't think he's learned any, but he has. So last night he was looking at the word lava and he said, it has 2 A's, and he recognized the L.
Good.
So he's starting very slowly to remember some, but then today he was looking at my phone and it was playing a song from Frozen and he goes, Elsa has a Z in it. I was like, are you sure? He goes, and I could hear him go, it goes like this. I don't see what he did. And I said, I think that's an S. And he goes, wait, how do you spell Elsa? And then I said, and he goes, oh, that says Frozen. So he was looking at the word Frozen. And so I said, so he's getting there.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
So thank you for that. You broke your leg. No, you didn't break your leg. You
my
avoided your self-care. You avoided self-care.
Yes.
And nearly lost a toe.
No, my diabetes finally had an actual consequence. Yeah, I got a blister.
So now is it instead of, so what is it, pre-diabetes, diabetes, and now you're in like actual diabetes?
No, I'm still into diabetes. I'll be into diabetes the rest of my life. Just when I know I have something wrong with my foot, I'm going to take care of it faster. So, yeah. It's okay. It's the most expensive staycation that anyone has ever had ever, I'm pretty sure. Between the medical bills and the outings that didn't work out and everything else. So, but it's fine. I did want to share something that you don't know because I haven't. Well, I kind of told you, but I'm going to hit the highlights. So I know a lot of times on these little conversations that we have before we talk about the movies, I can be pretty hard on my uncle and how difficult it is to caregive for him. But I did want to say I do enjoy my uncle's company most of the time, which is actually, I think, what makes it hard. If I only felt one way about him, I think it would be less emotionally exhausting. But I wanted to share some things about my uncle that have made me delightfully happy over the last few weeks. So one was, and you've heard these, but oh well, the audience hasn't. One was we were driving down Mockingbird a few weeks ago, and he just started laughing, and I looked, and it was because he saw a Cybertruck. And he has no context for a Cybertruck at all. He doesn't know what Tesla is. Like none of this is in his understanding of the world. And so just imagine if you saw a Cybertruck out of nowhere and had never heard of it, especially if you were a person who was artistic like my uncle is, you would laugh because they look ridiculous.
What's a Cybertruck?
You know what a Cybertruck is. It's the Tesla truck. Look at it, Google it. It looks ridiculous.
Okay.
They're crazy expensive. They just got delivered like within the last 2 months, and they're so stupid. People are paying ridiculous amounts of money for them and shit like that. And apparently they then when I was telling somebody else about this, and they're like, yeah, so because they didn't test the truck itself enough. So they're doing things like, okay, if we have the back come down on a couple of carrots that are acting like human fingers, it'll stop, right? It doesn't. It just slices the carrots in half. So I know no one who listens to this owns a Cybertruck.
I feel like we're digressing.
Anyway, sorry. I still think that's funny, but that's fine. And then another time, I know that our uncle really enjoys the band, the B-52s. Yes. So One of the times he was staying with us because his air conditioning wasn't working because his power was out because there was a summer storm. I took him to Pilot Point and Tioga. So in Pilot Point, we got to see one of the banks that Bonnie and Clyde robbed. And in Tioga, we got to eat at a very famous barbecue place called Clark's. And on the way there, I was playing B-52s because he likes them. And then on the way back, he just started naming things he was seeing on the side of the road in the same way that the lead singer of the B-52s does. Like, it was just like saying things that kind of rhyme in a kind of sing-song.
Dilapidated barn.
Yeah, exactly. So that made me laugh really hard. And
Hey, Bill.
there was another one I forgot about, but I just wanted to share that while he does drive me freaking crazy and I used up all the patience I had for caregiving with my father, it's not all terribleness with my uncle. It's good times too. And now I get to keep talking because I get to tell you about what Rian Davis did.
He and Elliot have fun together. He and Elliot have a good time together, don't they?
Oh yeah, they're fine.
Yeah.
So Rian Davis traveled and left her child for 12 whole days with us in Texas. And part of that was she went to Denver with a bunch of people from her school district and other people who I'm not going to remember. And it was for a civics thing, and they ended up winning. And here's how they ended up winning. Ryan got there and realized that everybody else there was like, this is a vacation. And I'm getting paid to be on vacation. And Ryan was like, we have to win this contest. I'm going to rewrite this entire script. I hate all of you because there's never a plan anywhere for anything ever. And then she never at any point says, oh my gosh, I'm more like my older sister than I thought. And she rewrote the script and rewrote the script and rewrote the script. And they ended up winning. Hooray! Civics, Lexington.
I also bought pom-poms, but that was before we got there.
She bought pom-poms to enhance the experience.
Because as soon as I heard the theme was supposed to be like rah rah, I was like, pom-poms, motherfuckers.
Are very rah rah. And one of the people dressed up like a blue horse, which is like the mascot of the city. So that was fun.
Yes. Big Lex.
Then she hid in Lexington for a day. And then lied to her child the whole day. And then she went to Washington, D.C., where she had a fellowship with something, anyway, blah, blah. It was all related to the Supreme Court. And she figured out that all of us try to use the Supreme Court to do things it shouldn't. And she asked interesting, thoughtful questions and shared her insights and took up space and won her moot court that she did and managed not to snicker or roll her eyes or anything when Brett Kavanaugh talked, which I feel like is the most amazing thing out of all of it. She didn't talk shit about Alito at all. Like, she kept it together. She was a true pro. And then she came back to Texas and had another fun few days with us, including a bounce house slide water situation that
birthday party. Kick off to the Elliot's birthday season, because it's not a day, he gets a season.
Sure. I mean, it is his 5th birthday. I'm not usually going to spend that much on a birthday, but 5
I tell myself that every year. As I told the people at Party City, I was like, you only turn 5 once, and 4, and 3, and 2.
But 5 does.
Like, every year, I'm like, I'm not spending as much money this year. And then
you end up spending too much money.
Yeah. I probably didn't spend more than what I spent last year and not having it at the house. So at least I'm saving myself like stress and time this year, if not money.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't think I thought, oh, I'm more like my sister than I thought. I think the thought I had was, man, these ADHD meds are really awesome.
Okay.
And tried not to think, man, I wonder what messages I would have been telling myself earlier in my life had I had these sooner.
Hindsight.
2020, baby. So all I can do is do the best I can with me and try to be more proactive with Elliot, which we are doing. So yeah, last night I wasted time because my child lost his goddamn mind in the middle of the night.
Whoa, how? What?
We had a beautiful day. beautiful night. At 11 o'clock, so I'm out here, which, by the way, I did not see the last few minutes of Popeye because Elliot comes running in here at 11 o'clock. Like, he gets up and, like, I heard somebody get up and walk around and, like, the refrigerator open. So I assume it's Ben.
Right.
And then in comes my child with his milk. Like, he had just gotten up and gotten himself milk.
Okay.
Like, yeah. And, like, fucking chugs it like he hasn't had anything to drink in days.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, we go back and I take him back to his room and he, like, take him in his room and he falls asleep. And then, like, an hour later, he comes in and he's like, I want milk. And I'm like, honey, you've had enough milk. You can have some water or if you're hungry. And it was just like 2 hours.
So what do you remember about Popeye from 1980?
I don't remember what I remember. Watching it, remembered that I remembered a lot more, and I got really angry at how much space that was taking up in my, like, back brain, my deep memory. So I'm hoping maybe now I can get rid of it.
You don't think that just recharged it so it'll be in there deeper now?
Fucking hope not. Which makes me think that I watched this movie many times.
Yeah, we watched it a lot. We did.
I don't.
So I remember the song Large. And
for me, it was just remembering things as they came up, being like, oh, no, you know.
I remember Shelley Long and Robin Williams as being the main characters. And then later I remember discovering that Robert Altman had directed it. And I was like thinking of all the ways. So like between this and like Poltergeist, which was like Spielberg and Tobe Hooper, like Dad managed to like sneak in like these auteurs that like were kid friendly? Question mark. So like I feel like that influenced me sort of later on to like have this sort of appetite for strange movies that, you know, pretended to be mainstream but were actually a little bit weird.
I feel like this movie causes me and that a low level anxiety in the same way that puppets do.
Okay.
And like movies like this. So like I don't know what it is. I can't explain it. So it's like Goonies, like Pippi Longstocking, Pete's Dragon, like somewhere where there's just terrible, dirty people. Usually with water involved. Like all of these movies have like they take place on some coastal area. Like, I don't know, but it was just like, because there's like a whole Fraggle Rock feeling there too. Like, I don't know. It just makes me very anxious and uncomfortable. Like, I don't.
Yeah. I will tell you so, you know, Robert Altman, part of his thing is that he has those ensemble casts and there's a lot of improv usually with his stuff. And I think that typically it's done in a way that doesn't make me feel anxious, but with this, it certainly did, especially because we had the real life situation of like the family trying to have dinner. And it was the most ADHD fucking dinner I've ever seen in my entire life. And at the same time, we were trying to feed your child. So there was ADHD happening on screen and in real life. And it was just chaos on chaos on chaos. It was just like,
it was awful.
It was,
It's interesting that you say that he likes a lot of improv, because I'm pretty sure that the script for this movie is 2 pages long.
So the woman who wrote the script was very excited when Robert Altman attached, and he promised the studio that he would accept the script exactly what it was. He wasn't going to change a word. And she just laughed and signed off because she knew it was Robert Altman he was going to do, but he was just going to throw the script
away. And she's like, now I don't have to do anything and I get paid.
Yeah, she's like, I don't care. I love Robert Altman. It's fine.
Yeah.
Think about it. Okay, so
here's 2 pages of dialogue.
Let's say, so essentially it's sometime in the late 70s. Okay. So there's cocaine. Let's just put that out there. There's cocaine and there's tons of money in Hollywood. You have Robert Evans, who is a famous producer and is famously mocked because of his very strong personality and views and his whole situation. Like, he Documentary Now did a whole thing where Bill Hader played him, and he is a whole situation in and of himself. Then you have Robert Altman, who is a whole situation in and of himself. Then you have Robin Williams, who is a whole situation in and of himself. And somehow Disney gets involved, and they are a whole ecosystem of a situation. And then you have Harry Nilsson, who evidently somebody said to Altman, they were like, don't work with Harry Nilsson, he's a drunk. And he was like, eh. And they worked together and they got along great. Just like, then if you ignore the premise of the film, which is a whole thing, they go to Malta and built that entire set, like multiple buildings, not even just the fronts, like literally you could walk inside of them. It was like 3,000 gallons of paint. Like, I don't remember how many nails. Like, I was on Wikipedia last night because I was like, what the fuck is this movie? Like,
those set designers and builders must have been so frustrated by how much everything kept just being broken.
Destroyed, yes.
Yeah. Like, everything's like, y'all, we got one take.
At one point, I was like, what is the candy glass budget in this film? Because people being thrown through windows and Bluto eating that cup and like then he goes and destroys their entire. So like, so the premise, Popeye the Sailor Man was a print cartoon, and then he became part of the Betty Boop universe, and so then he was an animated cartoon. And interestingly, I had already picked this movie before this happened, but while we were caring for your son, part of what I was doing was having him watch old cartoons. And it just so happened there were a lot of Popeye cartoons that came in. So I probably watched more original Popeye leading up to rewatching this movie than I ever had as a child. So that was kind of interesting. And it was always like Bluto and Popeye fighting for Olive Oyl's affection. That was it, you know. And then put it in the context of this movie where there's the whole thing about his dad. What the hell is happening with that? Everybody's talking over each other. Everybody acts like a clown, which that just cracked me up. So the idea of like a live animation of the clowniness, and like, you know, when the piano falls over the bridge and then he like pops it back up, like that made me laugh really hard. There was a lot. And Bill, I'm not gonna remember his last name. I need to look him up. One of the guys whose like head got like smashed down, and then
he's very famous. He's been in so many.
And I fell in love with him. He was on Legion, and I completely fell in love with him. So it was really cute to watch him.
I'm surprised Elliot didn't recognize him as Mr. Noodle from Sesame Street and Elmo's World.
Yes, when I went to go look him up, it was really hard to look at any of his other credits because Mr. Noodle comes up so many times. It was like see more, and I was still in the like 2000s. I was like, oh, I need like can AI tell me what the non-animated version of this man is so that I can get excited about it. But yeah, I don't even know. It feels like everybody just took a paycheck. I don't know what was happening in this movie at all. And then there's
so many times where I was like, what the fuck is going on? I have no idea what anyone's saying.
Yes.
That song you said everything is food. Yeah. I thought that song was about everything is fine.
No, you need to watch things with subtitles on. I don't know why you don't.
I couldn't. I don't know how to do it. And I knew I needed to, because I could tell like Robin Williams was saying really funny things. Yes. But like he was mumbling.
Yes.
And like, so I really wanted to hear what he was mumbling. But like, I can't even imagine watching subtitles with this movie, again, because everybody talks over each other the entire time.
Well, like, no, so he actually mumbled so much, and because it was actually filmed on a location, they had to ADR almost all of his dialogue. So even you not being able to understand him was nothing, because he had already done all that dialogue and he re-recorded it and you still couldn't understand him. So that was kind of interesting. I thought it was fascinating that Shelley Duvall loved shooting this. She had the time of her life. She thinks that Olive Oyl is the strongest female character she ever played.
Olive Oyl makes me hate women. I wrote that down. Like, I want to see a splice between this movie and The Shining, where Jack Nicholson is just running around trying to kill Olive Oyl, because I would just be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Pinpoint, though, the reason she loved this shoot was because she had just come off of The Shining, and Stanley Kubrick, like, psychologically tortured her in the movie. So she was like, this is great.
The strongest female character. Like,
there's a quote.
You and your son just survived a psycho killer, and you think the woman running around going, oh, like, oh is like half of what she says. Like,
it's true. But that's also true to the original character.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not saying that she wasn't in character. I'm just saying that's not the strongest female. No. Like, that she made me hate women. So when we started to watch this, so we had to watch this in two parts because we did try to watch it with Elliot. You got really excited about the person doing the songs?
Harry Nelson, yes. The guy that was the drunk.
Every song has one word. You can't understand any of or like
I would
4
recommend
words.
that you rewatch it with the subtitles on, but I know you're not going to do that. So
and they're just repetitive, which is really funny because the way you like were like, I was like, who? And you go, oh, he had the song in Russian Doll where you just hear the same part of the song repeated over and over and over again. So the irony that every song was like the same 4 words over and over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard being large. It's hard being whatever. What does he say? Mean? I mean, that was a song.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I am what I am.
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, she's holding her face.
This movie is fucking stupid.
I love it when she was singing large and she was secretly packing. I thought that was like fantastic. That was
the secretly like, there were some things like it got better. I don't think if it had that cute ass baby that I would have survived or made it through the whole movie.
That baby was the star, 100%.
Yeah. That baby was great.
That baby shows up halfway through and you're like, oh, no wonder this movie's 2 hours long because we get now a whole hour of baby. What a cute fucking baby. How did I forget that there was a baby subplot? I ask you. I have no idea.
I remembered the baby. I remembered Sweet Pea.
Let me ask you, why was Olive Oyl's mother giving so much Kate McKinnon?
I don't know, but you could tell she was very much a theater actress because she just like never stopped moving, you know?
They were all very cartoonish. Yes, yes.
Just, The Undertaker?
Yeah.
And it's Fooey, like everyone just says Fooey.
I felt really bad for the baby because Olive Oyl and Popeye never shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I wrote, here, baby, have some early childhood trauma when they're singing that song about like, stay, sail, stay, sail, stay. Again, more one-word songs. And it's just like, fuck y'all, like. And then he like writes the
Dear
letter
Harry
to
Nelson's
the baby.
estate, we can't afford to pay any royalties on any of this. I'm sorry.
Babies can't read.
What? Are you sure?
I don't know why he wrote a whole ass letter and put it in a bottle with a nipple that has a hole in it and then put it in the water. Going back and looking up some of the history of this, apparently, fun fact, Popeye and I have the same birthday.
Oh, really?
So Popeye, yes, but the character Popeye was first appeared in print on January 17th, some year, 1929, I guess. I don't know, something like that.
Okay.
The man who created Popeye, somebody Seagar, he used to sign his name as like would draw a cigar.
Oh.
He has the same birthday as Mom.
Oh.
So he was born on January 8th. No, December 8th, because that's Mom's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was like something else. What did I write? Oh. And then like he and someone else collaborated on a whole book about Popeye and a sea hag that never got printed, and that made me think of our whole sea witch thing. So it's like some very uncanny coincidences with our family there, like that whole Lincoln Kennedy thing.
Like,
and do you know what his dad's name is?
Kennedy thing. What's his dad's name?
Poop Deck Pappy.
Yep, that's his dad's name. Do you know what the name of Bluto's boat is? The Vile Body.
I did like the line. I caught one line that the dad said in, I don't know, maybe it was in a song. I don't know, but he said he's the master of my own indignity.
Yeah, there were some lines.
That made me think of Dad.
Yeah, there was a part where Popeye says it's a smorgasbord of violence. That made me laugh. And then I don't know, it was like, I think it was when they were going into Olive Oil's engagement party. There was a couple, and the guy was shorter, and he was like,
"My turn to be
it's my turn to be tall."
I liked her growling stole.
Oh yeah, that was really funny.
Yeah,
right
and
after
the fucking pelican,
faked pelican. Yeah. Also, how did I forget the octopus subplot? I mean, you would think of any of the subplots, I would remember the octopus.
Yeah, that definitely caused me some like. Why?
It was so fake.
Oh, I have to ask you something.
Yes.
Because I didn't see the end. Was it spinach in the treasure box?
Yes. It was spinach and Popeye's little booties. And then remember how Popeye had the not picture? He had the frame that said "Me Papa."
Yeah.
The dad had a frame that said "Me Baby" or something like that. Like, talk about a couple of short kings. Good God.
And this was Robin Williams' first movie.
First film, yes.
First film.
He had been on, because he had been on Mork and Mindy and he had done comedy.
Well, yeah, I said movie.
Yeah, sorry. Yes. It's
his first feature-length film.
Yep.
That octopus is really rapey. I think that's what. The ad-libbing with the baby was really good.
Yes, he did a great job ad-libbing with the baby. The baby was Robert Altman's grandson, by the way.
Oh, he's really cute. I meant to look up what happened to him. Why does that one like background character have all those keys? Did you see him? I don't know.
Didn't notice that.
It's so many.
I liked it when they were at the rough house and that girl pulled the bird cage around herself. That was hilarious.
Yes.
Laugh a lot. And then I was really astounded by Popeye's moral compass. I mean, he really was like mad that they took the baby to the racetrack. The racetrack with the wooden horses. The
racetrack, and like when that made me kind of go, that made me chuckle a little.
Yeah,
I liked the fat whore, so love that. Yeah,
that was good.
Sure, that put something in my brain, planted a seed somewhere. I don't know if it's a good or a bad seed. I am wearing my shirt that says "This is unintentional, but know your worth and add the tax," because the tax scene in this movie was probably, while watching this movie was incredibly taxing.
Yes.
Like the man who kept charging taxes for random shit made me laugh a lot. For all the things. Moving in tax.
Yeah.
New to town tax.
Yep.
Why does this town hate people? Like they just
that town really doesn't like people at all, but God loves them in Sweet Haven, so that's good.
Because they just were like, "We hate you, Popeye." I did feel a little sorry for him at the party when he like got all dressed up and he goes out there and like no one will talk to him because he like put his fancy uniform on,
dress blues, yeah.
And everyone like, I was like, "Oh, poor Popeye."
And also, the people in that town were not great, so I don't know why they were all a bunch of haters.
I don't so much. Well, what's the 20 townsfolk who showed up to everything?
And he kind of had like a little magical twinkle about everything. Like at the dinner where he didn't get to eat, and he was like, "Well, you can never have too much food." Or
yeah, no, he did have a nice little positive spin on everything. I can't believe Wimpy traded the baby for a handkerchief full of hamburgers.
I don't know why you can't believe that. That man.
I mean, I guess I can believe that, but
I like the part where their whole house is destroyed and they're just like sitting there on the open water, acting like they have a house, like everything's normal.
Yeah, like
the police don't even know why they exist. What is the purpose?
I know, they just ran away. I'd help you, like when everyone's like, "Go get him, Popeye," and the police like, "I'd help you, but."
I'm corrupt.
Yeah. Like I mean, as soon as they mentioned the Commodore, I'm like, the Commodore doesn't exist.
But
like,
he did.
Yeah, I know, but
he wasn't. Yeah, it was a whole thing.
It was a ruse.
I mean, they did keep saying nobody's ever seen the Commodore. Nobody's ever seen the Commodore.
Well, and then he like accidentally knocks the taxman into the water, and everyone's like, "Yeah!" I'm like, nobody thought of this before. Like, he just got knocked in the water. He's not dead. Like, he
could have turned him better, and they did that shit back then. Like, there's so many different old timey ways to get rid of that taxman.
Oh, is the dad saying "haul ass" when they're like on the boat trying to go after Bluto?
Yes, he was. Yeah.
Okay.
He was the only one who cursed. He cursed, but nobody else did.
Okay. Well, apparently in the original,
because he said shit, and it was the first shit in a Disney movie before they made Touchstone features where they could have adult language.
The first shit in a Disney movie.
The first.
What a title! What a title!
This is a turd of a movie, so I'm not surprised. But I will tell you, it is a wonderfully weird little thing. Like, I feel like if I were a person who took hallucinogenic drugs, I would take hallucinogenic drugs and I would watch this and probably either enjoy it tremendously or it would fall very, very flat. But
I'm just going to say, I had a legitimate stomach ache by the Now, I was eating some crap food, so I don't know if that was it, but I'm not saying causation. I'm just saying
there is perhaps correlation. Perhaps.
Correlation.
Yes. Well, hopefully it will help you to feel better to know we have one more weird musical and then 3 musicals that you will absolutely enjoy for certain. Are you ready?
Splice them up a little bit. Like, do not make me watch Oz or Return to Oz or The Wiz.
Oh, no. We're not watching that. That would be in a horror movie. I wouldn't put that in.
Okay.
We are going to next watch Little Shop of Horrors. But then The Sound of Music.
Okay.
Which you made me watch every day after school for months. Alice in Wonderland.
Where am I going to find 3 hours to watch The Sound of Music again? Jesus.
I don't know. Where are we going to get back the months of our lives where you made us watch it every day after school?
We were fucking kids. What were we going to do? Like, be kid president? Like, start a charity? Like, whatever. You were trying to make us put on Romeo and Juliet plays. Like, we were kids. We had all the fucking time in the world.
Then Alice in Wonderland from 1951, the animated one that's a musical. And finally, My Fair Lady. So you're going to be fine. Yeah.
Okay. Elliot's at camp right now being to perform in a musical on Fridays, a Frozen musical.
Oh,
we'll see.
Okay. Well, we didn't watch that in the 80s, so we won't be covering Frozen.
No, I know. I just was an aside. So
yeah.
We'll see how that goes.
We'll see how that goes.
He asked me if I was excited, and I said I'm very excited. So.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I thank you, everyone, for listening. I know it was a little bit rusty, but we'll get it back together.
Why were your shoes so big?
Because it was a cartoon.
I know.
I was so happy when I saw her shoes, though. It did make me happy. They're just funny looking. What are you doing? She's throwing her head back. She's done.
Making my stomach hurt again. I'm also fasting, so it may be that.
Thanks, everyone. That's it. That's it for this episode of I Love You, But.
Damn.
Please join us next week when we review Little Shop of Horrors. What made you laugh? Hopefully something. What made you cringe? Olive oil for sure. What did we forget? Apparently we forgot a lot about this movie. If you know other fun facts about it, please share. What should we talk about in future episodes? We'd love to hear it. Maybe we'll do a bonus because we got all our shit planned out for the rest of the year. But hey, we do want to know your thoughts. We appreciate you listening. Find us on Instagram and Threads at I Love You But Pod. You can also email us or send us a voice memo or whatever at iloveyoubutpod@gmail.com. Listener email and comments may turn up in future episodes. Be sure to rate, review, and follow I Love You But wherever you get your podcasts. If you listen to other podcasts, you know those ratings and reviews are really important. So if you haven't taken a moment to do that, and you are wasting your time listening to us, it'd be super rad if you went and did that for us. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Heather.
I'm Rian. You can also put a note in a baby bottle with a nipple on it and throw it in the water. We're also going to continue doing this whether you rate us or not. And we wish you lots and lots of conditional love.